Welcome to this Daily Bark. I'm Victor Vargas, and here we discuss ideas around composing art and life. And today we're going to discuss passion and reframing our thinking. We did a video, and in that video I made this strange face, as I often do, and when I said the word passion, and my daughter Sophie was in my studio with me when I was editing that video, and man, we were laughing. We watched that little part of that video like 20 times, and we were just cracking up. It was this beautiful little moment where we got to form a wonderful connection around the concept or the idea of passion. I was reflecting on it, and it really hit me. Something powerful hit me, and that was when I was her age, my connection to passion was not a good one. Around her age, my father died. In fact, he was brutally murdered. In the culture, I guess, in which they came from, these types of murders were considered or crimes of passion. So I realized that my connection to this thing, passion, and in relationship to my father, was actually a very dark one. And it was a wonderful moment to realize that root of passion, especially connected with father, at least in my daughter, was going to be one that she will remember forever as laughing and joyful. And we were producing something, we were serving people, we were doing something with the arts and philosophy and thinking, creativity, composing, and that really just hit me hard. It was an amazing moment, and what happened was I took that inside myself and used it to form a whole new connection in relationship to passion, to my connection to passion. Now, how does that relate to composition? In composition, there's this amazing phenomenon that I stumbled upon a little while ago, and it's something that I'm going to talk a lot about. I'm going to use this a lot because it really creates this wonderful, simple diagram to compose life around. And I'm going to show it to you here. What we're looking at is that in the void of a piece of paper, in this formless space, we make a point. That point is isolated. That's you. And every relationship that you make becomes a new point. And what's wonderful about this diagram is that when you have 2 points, there's all this amazing stuff that happens when you understand the rules of composition. So once you have these 2 points, it creates a notional space. And there are certain rules that you can then go into that rectangle and pull information out. And ultimately what you're going to create is what we call an armature. This armature is the structure, the framework. And like in our minds, when we have a connection, when we're here, we're one point, you are another point, we make a connection. Well, there is a notional space that we exist in, and inside that space, there is this architecture that occurs. Now, once you have that architecture, the architecture gives you what we call a gamut. These are limited directions of lines and angles that we can use to compose our whole piece. And if you compose it within the DNA of the rectangle, within this gamut, everything that's constructed becomes harmonious to that relationship, which was started by 2 points. And it doesn't matter what the points are. The rules are the same. Depending on the points, it'll give you a whole different set of angles. Every rectangle has its own set of angles. We'll get into those angles and things later. What hit me was that my relationship with passion, specifically dealing with my dad, created a notional space and a whole way of thinking, a whole framework. And now the connection that I have with my daughter around this same subject, around the same ages, birthed a whole new reality, a whole new notional space. And within that new notional space, there's a whole new armature, giving us a whole new set of guides to think by, to compose by, to live by, to experience and enjoy by. And that's exciting. And so what I want to leave you with, in your life, maybe when you were a kid, the relationships that you had, how can you realign them now as a composer in your own life, in your own work? And that's the Daily Bark for today.